Hi there, it's Dr. Bernstein, and in this video I am going to give you some important information about how to use Academic Search Premier and JSTOR, two of the more advanced online databases for finding articles about authors. So again, the first thing you do, you're going to go over to the libraries page, you're going to go over to databases and articles. You're going to go to databases A to Z, and we'll start with Academic Search Premier. Click on it. Again, if you're off campus, you're going to have to enter in your ID information to get in here. The first thing I want to call your attention to is that when you're doing a search in here, you want to limit your searches to full text, which means it's only going to show you articles that you have access to the whole article. If you don't click on this, what you're getting are all sorts of different references, but you may or may not be able to access those articles. So for our purposes, just choose full text. And you want to click on scholarly journals. When your professors tell you you need to quote from a scholarly journal, they mean that it's an article that's in a peer-reviewed journal. What does peer review mean? What does peer review mean? It means that experts on, we're searching for Faulkner. Experts on William Faulkner will have reviewed this article and said, you know what, it's good enough to publish. So that's what it means to be peer reviewed. So click on these two things. Sometimes teachers will tell you, look, you need to find a source found published in the last 10 years. So you can limit it by publication date as well. And there are other categories here that you can take into consideration if you want. And I also want you to create an account. So you would click here. I already have my account, so let me just go back for a second. You want to, if you don't yet have an account with Academic Search Premier, you want to create one. It'll say sign in over here. That's where you create it. The reason why you want to create an account is because it will allow you to save the sources that you're looking up. So since you're looking at two different databases, you're looking at Academic Search Premier and at JSTOR to find one article. You don't need one article in each of the databases, but I want you to look through both of them to find one article that you find most interesting about your author or about a particular aspect of your author's writing. But you're going to have to start by sifting through. So in order to sort of preserve your sanity, you can save things to your folder. That way, when you come back, you can just go into your folder and find the 3 articles that you think might have, be interesting, and then you can choose the one you want from there. So let's go back and do a search here. We're going to do full text, scholarly articles. We're going to do, say, I'm just interested in William Faulkner and maybe female characters. You can just search for the author's name and see what comes up and skim through there. Or if there's something you already know that you're interested in, like female characters or economic issues or race issues, whatever it is you're interested in, I would start by adding that information if you can. Let's see what happens. Oh, no results found. Sometimes it's too specific. William Faulkner. The very first thing I do is scroll through and say, is there anything in here that I find interesting? Sometimes you can tell just by the titles. I think, hey, say I'm interested in art and religion. Thomas Merton, I know, is an important religious figure. So if I'm interested in it, the first thing I would do as I'm going through here is just add to my folder before I start really opening up documents and entering into that little rabbit hole that you get into. So I put it in my folder because I think it's interesting. So what you can do is once you have an account, you can stick things in your folder. See how you can add them to your folder. I'll show you mine. And here it is. So this is a really good when you're doing research, you also have to think about how you're going to organize your research so you don't lose things and lose track of things. The next step is, say I decide that this is the article I really want to work with. I would open up the PDF full text. It's going to open it up. It's 18 pages. So if this is the one you're doing, you need to print it out. So you just click on print and you can save a copy of it to your hard drive. I always recommend doing that. So that's pretty simple. Now I want to show you JSTOR, which is short for journal storage. This is another great database for doing research on authors and literature in general. It's a little bit different. Again, you can log in and create your own account so that you can store your articles that you might be interested in. I want you to do an advanced search, and I'll explain why in a second. Because you want to only look for articles. JSTOR also features reviews, meaning things that people have written about other articles and other books. You don't want that. You need to find the actual article itself. So you want to narrow it down that way. Another way you can narrow it down is by looking in specific types of journals. So say you were interested in William Faulkner and issues related to race. I would click on, say, African American Studies as well as language and literature. But for right now, I'm not going to do that. The only thing I'm going to click on is article. And again, you can also do date range here. Click on William Faulkner, type your author's name, obviously not this. And again, I would scroll through and look for anything that seems interesting. And sometimes you're going to have to you can narrow it down, but sometimes you're going to have to scroll through a bit to find something that sounds interesting to you. So you'll see there are 65 pages. You might not have to go through all 65. Hopefully you won't. And that's it. If you find any interesting techniques or strategies for doing research on JSTOR or Academic Search Premier, or you have any questions, just head over to our D2L page at the discussion board and post them. That's it for now. Take care. Bye.